Yeah, man. Woo. Yeah, no riding today, boy. Had to take the vehicle, had to jump in the cage. This is actually the wife's cage. This is, the wife had to work from home today because of all the snow, and I was able to take her vehicle, which I love because it does great in the snow. Toyota RAV4, boy, 2011. Great vehicle. I have nothing, absolutely nothing bad to say about this vehicle, man. I mean, it's just been an awesome car. I did not want to get this car either. My wife was the one who convinced me, and I am happy to admit, I'm the first one to admit that she was right. Once again, the wife was right. It was a great investment, man. 2011 Toyota RAV4. Couldn't go wrong with this car, man. It's been great. This is not an advertisement, though, for Toyota RAV4, but while I'm driving here today, which I don't usually do a car vlog, so to speak, but I thought, what the hell, I'm gonna be driving, so let me just get out my thoughts. I jumped in the car and I was thinking about all of the cars that I have owned over the years. And let me tell you, man, I have owned a lot of cars. I really have. I have owned a lot of cars over the years, not because I'm rich, and can afford cars like Jay Leno. No, it's because I've gone through hoopty, through hoopty, through hoopty. I mean, one hoopty after another, man. And if you don't know what a hoopty is, I don't even know if people still say hoopty. We used to say hoopty. It's like, man, I'm gonna jump in the hoop, jump in the hoopty.
Hoopty rolling, tailpipe dragging, heat don't work, and my girl keeps nagging. 6'9" Buick, deuce keeps rolling, one hubcap, cause 3 got stolen.
The hoopty is kind of your rundown car, like Mater. You ever see Cars? Mater is a hoopty. So anyway, man, yeah, I have driven many a hoopty over the years. Many a hoopty, I'm telling you. My very first car was, I've always had, well, not always, I've had, I mean, this is a new car that we bought. Man, my current car right here, I have another Toyota Solara, Camry Solara, another great car. I bought that one new too. So I bought these two cars new, or we did, I should say. But for years, I just went through used car after used car after used car. The very first car I had was a 1976 Honda Civic, man. And it was a good car. It was a teeny small car. It was a good car, but it gave me problems though. I had I think one of the cylinders was bad in it, is what happened. And so anyway, got rid of it. My second car, which I had for many years, was a 1979 Toyota Corolla hatchback, man. And that car, and I didn't get that car in 79. Yes, I am old, but I'm not that old. So I had that car in the late 80s, and so it was probably almost 10 years old when I got that car. And it was just an awesome car, man, I'm telling you. And I treated the car so bad. I feel horrible because I treated that car so bad, man. Never changed the oil. Never took it in for service. Never changed the brakes, man. And the car was just an amazing car. It was seriously probably one of the best cars I had in terms of the engine always being reliable. Even when I got rid of the car, the engine was still running. But I feel bad, man, because that car went through a lot. Let me tell you this hoopty, because it was a hoopty, a reliable hoopty, but it was a hoopty nonetheless, because my driver's side door right here, it wouldn't latch. Like when I would close the door, it wouldn't latch. And so if I made a right-hand turn like this, the door would swing open. Even if you locked it, it wouldn't do anything. The door wouldn't latch. So what I would have to do was I would close the door and then I'd roll up the window, because there is no automatic windows in the thing. I had to roll the window up, and so the window would get wedged up in here into the windowsill, and that would keep the door from flying open. No air conditioning in that car. When the homies got in the car, I would have one sit in the back so that I could roll down the window, and he would hold on to the door for me. So anytime I made a right-hand turn, he had to hold on to the door just to make sure the door didn't go flying open. It was crazy, man. I'm telling you, that car was just, oh man. Heat didn't work in it. I mean, I'd be driving in weather like this, man, and I'd have to bundle myself up because the heat didn't work in that car. It was crazy, man. I mean, so everything with the car was broken, but the engine was just amazing. The engine was perfect. There was behind the driver's seat, on the floor in the back seat. Okay, so there's the back seat and there's the floor of the back seat and then the driver's seat. The floor right behind the driver's seat, there was a hole about that big. I swear, a hole that big where you could look down through the car. The carpet was all gone and you could see the road. You could actually see the road. It rusted through, man. It was crazy. It was like the Flintstones car, you know, where you could almost stick your feet out there. You could probably get 1 foot out, actually. I actually cut a piece of wood and covered up the hole. You know, I actually cut a piece of wood and just put it there to cover up the hole, man. Oh, I'm telling you, it was just, things were just broken in the car, and there was a hole back. I mean, it was nuts, man. It was a great car, though, and I feel so bad because I was not taking care of my cars back then. I was not, you know, doing the proper maintenance, never changed the oil. I would just pour oil in the vehicle. I had a quart of oil that I would keep in the vehicle, and every time I'd stop, I'd pour oil into the vehicle. I'd just pour oil into it. It was and I just treated the car so bad. It would just eat through the oil. It was nuts. It actually, so check this out. The radiator. Okay, the radiator would flood out antifreeze only when you stopped. And so if you actually came to a dead stop, if I was going to stop, like if I'm going to go into a store, I would stop the car, turn off the car, and all of a sudden all of the antifreeze, or maybe not, I don't know if it was all of it, but I mean a lot of it would just come pouring out of the car, man. It was nuts. So what I did was I would keep a pan with me. I just kept a pan in the car at all times, and as soon as I stopped the car, I'd run out with the pan, put it under the radiator in the front of the car, and all of the antifreeze would just pour right into there. I'd go into the store, do my thing, come back out to the car, pop the hood, pour the antifreeze back in, and it wouldn't leak. It wouldn't leak. It only leaked when you drove the car and then stopped. While you were driving, it wasn't leaking. While it was sitting cold, it wasn't leaking. So I'd pour the antifreeze right back in, and bam, get on my way. It was nuts, man. It was crazy. What finally killed the car was I was driving, and I was coming up to a stop sign, and I'm slowing down. I'm applying the brakes just like I am right now, and bam! My foot went straight to the floor, and it just pushed the brake pedal straight to the floor. I had no brakes, man. I heard metal clanking on the street behind me. I'm looking in the mirror, and you know, I see little bits of metal falling out or bouncing along the road, man. And I just ruined the brakes. I just totally lost my brakes. And I think what had happened was the brake pad just finally just went bam, it just broke. And the caliper was just mashing up against the rotor, totally ruined the rotors, man. I went out, I stopped the car with the emergency brake, pulled up the emergency brake, stopped the car, and went outside, and I saw these bits and pieces over there. I picked up one of the brake pads, or broken brake pad, I think that's what it was. I picked it up, and it sizzled my fingertips, man, because it was so hot. It was just burning up, and it just went psst. I was like, ah! I actually had to, I saw a puddle of water, I actually dunk my fingers in there to cool them off. It was nuts, man. I feel bad for that car, because I swear, if I had taken care of the car like I should have, that car probably would have lasted me a long time. It never any problems with the engine itself. Radiator had that issue, but the engine, reliable, started, cold weather, anytime, always. It was just an amazing car in terms of reliability for the engine. Never left me stranded anywhere. It was one of the best hoopties that I have ever had. So anyway, just thought I would share a little bit about some of Super B's hoopties, especially the 1979 Toyota Corolla hatchback. Much love. So anyway, with that, my friends, my people, continue to ride with confidence, head up 100%. Yeah, this is Super B.
It's a 3-ton monster, Econobox stomper. Snatch your girlie, if you don't, I'll romp her. Dinosaur rush, looking like Shaft. Some get old, but some get smashed. Cops say the car smokes, but I won't listen. It's a 6'9" deuce, so the hell with him.